This is Business and Economy Network.
Hello, wonderful people watching within and outside Nigeria, those of us watching via the online channels. Thank you so much for letting us into your homes, offices, and for joining us on yet another exciting episode of your program, our program. This is Business and Economy Network. My name is still Ohioze Edna. On our program rundown for today, we'll bring to you reports from different sectors of the Nigerian economy. For Company in Focus, we have the MD CEO, Nigerian FOUNDRIES Limited. Foundry is an evidently important part of every sector of the Nigerian economy. For Special Report, we had a chat with the Group Managing Director, SAHARA Power Group. SAHARA is an expert in the business of upstream, downstream, infrastructure, power matters in and outside Nigeria. For Spotlight, we have the president and his crew members, BEEPMAGNET International Group, enlightening us on his recently launched product called the CC Box. You know how it is, it's never a boring moment. Do stay tuned, I'll join shortly. The Nigerian FOUNDRIES Limited today stands as the leading ferrous foundry group in Sub-Sahara with a total installed capacity of 8,005 metric tons per year. The foundry complex is located at Sango-Ota, Ogun State, Nigeria. Nigerian Foundry started in 1969 as a small gray iron foundry by the Barbaropoulos brothers. The foundry has expanded into its second generation with Mr. Vasily Oye Barbaropoulos as the MD CEO. Nigerian Foundries is an expert in the business of melter engineering, molding, melting, heat treatment, industrial weights, and lots more. The activities of the Nigerian Foundries is evidently visible in every sector of the Nigerian economy, like oil and gas, construction, marine, shipping, defense, energy, and power, also agro-allied food processing. A successful foundry system is a successful economy.
Well, Nigerian Foundries started as a small backyard foundry in 1969 in Ilupeju, near the army cantonment. It started by my father and my uncle. My father was an accounts person. My uncle went and worked as a foundryman in Czechoslovakia in those days and came back, and we started, they built the first cupola oven. In those days, we used to have the railway foundry, we used to have the Elder Dempster foundry, small foundry in Basita, and so on. Well, a foundry basically is a manufacturing facility that takes scrap metal and adds various additives like chromium, nickel, and so on, and makes parts for various machinery or various industries. Automobile, for example, you can't have an automotive industry if you don't have aluminium foundries, if you don't have ductile iron and cast iron foundries. You wouldn't have cars. You wouldn't have cement if cement industry did not use parts that are made, abrasive resistant parts from various foundries around the world. So basically, foundries are the backbone of nearly every industry in the world. You wouldn't go 50 meters anywhere that you would not have a casting somewhere lying. And we produce parts for other industries. We produce parts for equipment for the mining industry, for the shipping industry, for the cement industry, you name it, for the construction industry. So it's not unique. But because it is so engineering in nature, engineering intensive, not everybody is aware of what foundries actually do. Since 1969 to reach to this level, it was not easy. It was a progressive growth by taking loans, and a big supporter has always been Bank of Industry. And, every time we've been taking loans, expanding capacity. And at this present moment, we are looking at going for the 9th loan with them, not to expand capacity, but to expand processes. It's been rough because the initial loans that we took way back in the late 80s were all dollar and euro and Deutsche Mark denominated and so on. So every time that there was a huge fall in the exchange rate, we were running helter-skelter to find out how we are going to repay the loans back. So it's very laudable that for the last number of years, loans are being given out in Naira and payable back in Naira. Bank of Industry has had, they've always had this very good way of always re-engineering themselves according to the times. So that's why they have been able to remain focused and current. So, and we're going back to them because it's a long-term partnership. Covenant University is not too far away from here. It's in Ota. It's quite a big university. Recently it became voted abroad as the #1 university in Nigeria. So we formed a couple of years ago a partnership, a memorandum of understanding, basically because they are on the forefront of engineering, and we are also on the forefront of engineering. And we said, well, let us strike a relationship where we can have a good partnership whereby their students can come and do their master's program studies, some of them here. We can offer lectures, we can offer practicals and so on, and we can see what Covenant itself can offer us as an industry and support us. So I'd say we're going over now to the 3rd year, and it is developing stronger and stronger, and it is basically, I think we're reaching to the level where of partnership of industry in Europe that has with universities.
Sahara Group is a leading international energy and infrastructure firm with operations in over 38 countries across Africa, Mid East, Europe, and Asia. Sahara is unique because of its rich human resource that creates its workforce, driven with a spirit and a strong attitude of commitment, resourcefulness, and disruptive creativity that accentuates how Sahara delivers its value and achieves collective goals. In the chat with the Group Managing Director, Mr. Kola Additional, on the way forward for power challenges in Nigeria, the following were suggested. There should be a gathering of critical stakeholders, governments, and service providers. Considerations for the purchasing power of Nigerians and governments should be ready to subsidize for operations, which should be aided with the yearly budget. Again, the end user could be made to bear the cost, but with 100% service delivery.
The way forward is very simple. It's not that complicated. The way forward, let all the critical players in this sector come together with government. We, as the providers of service, cannot in isolation just develop our own plan. No. So we need everybody in the value chain, plus government, to sit at the table and agree to a plan. Invariably, at that setting, what will happen is government will say, hey, Mr. Gas Producer, gas infrastructure, what do you need? How much does it cost for you to give gas to the gas-fired power plants? Whether it's $1, whether it's $2, whether it's $3, any amount it is, put it in one bucket. Mr. Generator, Egme, Uncle, how much does it cost you to generate this power? You add that to the gas. Transmission company, we want to ensure that there is evacuation and availability Nigerian-wide. We're not going to remove anybody and make anybody to suffer. How much does it take to string all the lines, put substations, put feeders all over Nigeria? What is the unit cost? Add it to that bucket. The distributor of electricity, how much is it? Whatever the unit cost is, add the whole thing together, plus what NERC will collect, what MBET will collect, everybody, put all this thing together. If the price is 100 naira per kilowatt hour. That's the price you see. Now you now go to the second side of it. And what's the second side? The people. What is the purchasing power of the people? Can they afford to pay this price? If no, good. What can they afford to pay? So if they can afford to pay hypothetically 60 naira as against 100 naira, then government will now come back and say, okay, now we've gone to the marketplace. It's 60 naira they can afford. You, the players, we've done the audit of the price. It's 100 naira. So I, as government, will take a decision out of two. One, am I going to be responsible for the differential? Then invariably, I must put in my budget every year 40 naira per kilowatt hour to ensure that the system readily provides electricity on a stable, regular basis. The other part is, okay, can we insist that everybody pays 100 naira so that we don't have to step in? Then the resources available to us, we can use it elsewhere. Education, healthcare, road, and the rest of them. But for this particular commodity, it's 100 naira. That's another option. Another option, maybe there's a third leg to it. And that third leg is what we're actually practicing today in court. It's for us to ask the commercial users and industrial users of electricity to pay relatively more so that they are cross-subsidizing the residential customers that don't have the capacity to pay. So you're putting that burden on them. But note the danger of that is that those who represent the engine room of growth of the sector of Nigeria as a nation should not be overburdened with cost, because naturally they too will pass that cost into the price of their commodity. So ultimately what you think you're saving, you are actually not saving it, because when they produce that commodity, they are going to mark it up. Whatever be the differential between what they normally will pay and the one you have insisted that they will pay, they will feed it into the price of the commodity they are selling. So you see the vicious cycle. And that's why I will advocate that government should, for a period of 5 years, intervene in the sector, because there's nothing so difficult about this. But as we speak today, actions that seem to be balkanizing and fragmenting the system are the actions we're taking. And they can lead to nowhere but no light. Estimated billing, for a lot of Nigerians that have been misinformed as regards the estimated billing methodology. I don't know of any distribution company that will happily conduct their businesses on the basis of estimated billing, because you're actually shooting yourself in the foot. It is fit and proper. It is desirable by any distribution company for us to be able to accurately measure the electricity we're deploying to the people. I want to be able to calculate precisely that I gave Mr. Peter 10 units of electricity and multiplied by my price, I get my money. Because that way I have a higher degree of certainty in ascertaining the consumption of energy from you. So if your consumption is increasing, I can always put the infrastructure around you to give you more power, since I know your consumption. But when I don't know your consumption, it doesn't in any way help me. Estimated billing is a byproduct of the lack of cost recovery in the business. Because when people speak to metering is critical undoubtedly, but there are quite a number of other very, very important elements before metering. So if you don't have the transmission line, if the transformer is not there, if the substation, the feeders are not there, there won't be any power that gets in through the meter. So before then, there are issues. So who is dealing with those issues? Nobody. Now everybody is speaking to what they feel they can see, which is meter. We are dealing with far more than that. And that's why we are saying, if the price of the commodity is right, that will engender the provision of meter that is required. Because it's all in the pricing model. And as we speak today, part of what maybe it needs to go out is that the performance agreement we signed with the government in 2013, today we've been able to deploy 1.49 million meters. Invariably, of the 1.7, the totality that was signed by all the distribution companies, we've done 88% of metering. But there is a question and a problem that nobody is speaking to. And what's that? Even when you put the meter, close to 50% of the customers, they bypass the meter. So you see that they actively engage other electricians to bypass the meter that Nigerians are agitating for. So out of the 1.49, if 40% they bypass, what are we saying? That's 560,000 people that have bypassed. So the meter is no more, even when installed, an accurate measurement of the electricity consumption in most homes. So now how do you deal with that? And unfortunately, guess what? The bypassers of meter are actually the people that are sufficiently capable of paying. Now, they've chosen to pay less. They're using 9 air conditioner and they are paying a tariff for only 2 air conditioner. Who suffers? I suffer.
Of this product is catching this with the women or the women community, and we believe that in the market we only have parts that does not have the all-inclusive. So during the course of our research, we decided that how can we actually get connected with these people, and that was where it all started. Secondly, women is a large army. When you actually touch them, that becomes the starting point. Because blockchain technology is something that is generational, we decided that we needed to actually get to the root of where this particular information can actually be passed on. So if we are able to get women, and these women also have children, because especially in Africa, blockchain technology is something that we are hearing, but we've not been able to actually, connect them together to reality. So CC Box is actually designed that women will actually be educated effortlessly while they are actually using something that is there to them. These individuals are also connected to blockchain technology. So that is actually the spark. Then another aspect is empowerment. If the woman is actually empowered, the bottom line is they will go a long way to support the family. So to what extent is our product really going to empower women? The fact is that we have created something massive, something robust. You can imagine starting off a business in Nigeria is actually not easy. When you think about to pay for shop rent, you think about to provide security, and you think about capital that is needed to actually start a business. But we have packaged a product that while you are actually using CC Box because you are a woman with as low as 6,000 naira, you have something that can last up to 4 months, something that is very hygienic, and at the same time, it has the potential of you making an average of 5 to 8 million naira at least every 4 months. This is the model that we have actually built. So what are we saying? That every woman needs CC Box. Once you are in, you are actually going to bring in happiness. There's this feel-good emotion that is actually brought into the family. It is true that women really want to actually support the family, but the point is that the economy is making them tax their man too much. So we are saying with CC Box, that thing that you use every month, share the same message with the same gender with your friends to use the same product. And that becomes an empowerment for you that you can use to support yourself, and then you can also use to actually support your family too. Part of our strategy is actually to get connected with all the secondary schools in Nigeria. We are looking at how we can get connected with all the universities, especially private institutions. We want to have a perch in these particular places. The market or the model of distribution of our product is very, very unique. That is why at this point in time, we've been able to create more like what we call a 3-tier of our distribution chain. The first is actually we are looking out for distributors everywhere in Nigeria. So if you want to take advantage of being part of our ecosystem, you can actually apply to actually become a distributor. So when you are a distributor, it means that you're actually going to be on our spotlight. We're going to do all the necessary publicity, awareness. Because really the product actually, you cannot actually come directly to us to actually buy CC Box because of our marketing model. You get this particular product from distributors. Now, the second tier are now actually retailers. So retailers are individuals who go to the distributors to actually pick the product. And eventually, the product will actually circulate in the market. Now, the unique selling point is that once you see a CC Box kit in a shelf, in a store, and you pick it and then you use it, there is something that is unique. Because the moment you're already registered on our platform, there is a voucher that is actually inside of CC Box. As soon as you use that particular voucher and then impute it on our website, then it triggers our empowerment model. So everybody walking to any shop picks CC Box. So you discover that what we have actually done is that to the distributors that we have, yes, they would actually just be there, traffic would actually come to them. And then to the average person who is on the street, who is interested in being our affiliate. Being our affiliate simply means that you create awareness about CC Box. Tell everyone to do what? Register with CC Box. The moment everybody around you, social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, give them register, have an affiliate link, and tell your friends to just register. Don't wait, because if you do, you miss out. As long as everybody is registered with CC Box, let them go to the market to pick the product. When they buy for their convenience, for their use, you can imagine. So take for example, some of us actually have on Facebook 5,000 friends. Imagine if you're able to invite 5,000 friends by sharing your referral link to them to actually register on CC Box. And when they are done, of course, this need is something that they want, and then they decide to go to the store, pick it up, and then use. Now, when that happens, the idea is that the moment they buy and get our vouchers and then impute that on the website, think about it. You have 5,000 people, and immediately they actually purchase the kit, enter the voucher. Don't know, you go to the number. 5,000 multiplied by 1,000. How much is that? That's the money. That's part of the empowerment that CC Box is take. Does he end there? No. The bottom line is that same friend would also go to his market because he now has actually gotten it. So he's also passing the same information to his own friends too. When they do, and they also buy. So CC Box understand that you actually play that role of connecting. So we're not leaving you. So whether you didn't do anything anymore, but because that particular chain is passed on, all you will see in your account is that somebody else have actually signed up that your friend invited. And then CC Box says, take another 500 naira. So you can imagine if, let's say, you now have a total of 10,000 persons that you do not know, but they are using CC Box because it's a quality product, it has health benefits, and then you just see multiply 5,000 or 10,000 multiplied by 500. You can do the number. Blockchain technology is the future, and BEEPMAGNET Group is interested to make it possible for every African, every Nigerian to get connected.
Sanitary is something that you do not need to tell a lot of story. You don't need to convince a person, a woman, that she needs sanitary. Once it is that time of the month, she already understands that she needs to get one. And so what we're saying is that people have a reason to switch from their existing brand to CC Box because of the additional benefits on their health, on their hygiene, the opportunity to make income. Our website, www.ccbox.com, provides all the information about our products and about what is contained in each of our product packages, because we actually have different packages. The president mentioned about the 6,000 package. That's a package for 4 months consumption. We also have a smaller package that the woman can use for an entire 1 month. So we have the 4 months consumption package and then the 1,700 consumption package. So by visiting our website, you then fill a form on the sign up or subscription page. And then before you can do that, you actually need what is called a referral link. So you can get a referral link directly from our website or from that person who told you about CCBox. Either it's a supermarket or your school or your church, wherever you get connected to CCBox, ask them for a referral link, and that becomes your entry into our database as an affiliate.
CCBox is the only company currently in Africa that is offering women empowerment as well as taking care of their hygiene needs. You will not find any pad that will take care of you, your health, your comfort, and everything that you need to receive during your menstrual hygiene period, making it so excellent for you to go about your daily activity and also putting back money in your pocket, as well as giving you the opportunity to tap into the next world venture of blockchain technology. You will do yourself a great disservice if you do not be a part of this movement of CCBox.
This is Business and Economy Network.
Welcome back, viewers. Hope you had a wonderful time and, as usual, learned something new on today's episode of the program. For the ladies, good news, there's something for you. Get a pack of the CCBox. This is more time you permit us to take, but I want to thank you so much for your contributions. Keep them coming. Without you, we will not be here. Join us same time, same station next week. We love you. God bless you.